All right, class. So as I said, we are on our final week of pronouns. And not only the final week of pronouns, we're also on the final week of nouns. So we can celebrate that we're finally done with all those noun paradigms, but only to be starting off next week into our verbs and all of our verb paradigms. So I'm hoping this has been enough practice to where we all have our nominative, accusative, genitive, and dative paradigms down pretty well by now. More or less, yeah. As I said, it gets more natural as time goes by. All right, so has everybody got their workbooks ready so we can go through our workbook reviews? Awesome. Let everybody get their snacks ready here, and then we'll move into our first parsing exercise. So do I have a volunteer for parsing number 1?
Take that. Two-tone, the third genitive plural.
Correct.
And there's no particular gender on it. Putos and then of these.
Correct. Perfect.
I got these.
Yeah. Okay, can I get a volunteer for parsing number 2? Mm-hmm. Correct.
It means those.
Yeah, or those women too, yeah, just depending on the context. Oh, wonderful. Okay, can I get a volunteer for parsing number 3? Meh.
It's in the accusative first person.
Yep.
Singular.
Yep. It's lexical form.
It's kind of gentlest. Its lexical form is ego.
Yeah. And it's inflected meaning. Yep. It's almost like the
lexical form was what?
ego.
Ego.
Yeah. That's funny. This actually translates exactly into the English counterpart.
Yes.
Transliterate, should I say.
Telling lies.
Yep. All right, can I get a volunteer for parsing number 4? Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And it can also stand for sameness, like so. Like do you remember the reflexive pronoun? Yeah. She, herself. Or, yeah, exactly. In case you want to get into the lesson of since we just covered that in last week. And finally, parsing number 5. Do we have a volunteer?
Machine, sorry. Nominative,
Correct.
singular.
Correct.
It is neuter.
Correct.
Neutral.
Lexical form.
Canos.
Correct. And the meaning, the inflected meaning.
Those.
Well, that. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Then it can also be, this could be nominative or accusative. I do.
Also vocative.
So if you're like saying that, like that person, speak to me, or yeah.
It can also be what?
Vocative.
Okay.
Every time I hear the word vocative, I hear evocative. Right.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move into our warm-ups here. So anybody brave to handle warm-up alpha?
Is it out of this world?
Yep. That quick, yeah. Yeah, and so it's out of world this. And we know postpositions. So yeah, perfect.
Could it be from this world?
Yeah, it could be from this world too, yeah.
Out of the world, not the man.
Out of the man's, this is a man's world. Okay, can I get a volunteer for warm-up beta?
But Thursday.
Correct. Yeah. So we have our but here, our in, which it's a postposition, the, days, those, and get rid of that. Yeah, exactly. All right. Can I get a volunteer for warm-up gamma?
How's this?
Yep, that's it. Yeah. How, one of our vocabulary words, is, this could be he, she, it. In this case, we don't really have a mark. Well, we do. We can. Yeah. And then we have remember our Greek question mark looks like our semicolon. Wonderful. Y'all are blasting through these like they don't even mean anything anymore. Okay. Can I get a volunteer for delta?
Our father.
Yep. Yeah. Simple. Okay. And let's go ahead and do our last warm up. This is going to be our little curveball here. Do we remember our verb, our verb definition here? This is one of the few verbs we've had in our vocabulary already.
He said?
Yep, he said, yeah. And we know obviously this one is, he said. Okay, we have our two, yeah. We know we're dative.
Those. Them.
Them, correct.
But I auto-corrected.
And then,
That was those.
That's because it can weaken to a he, she, right?
it weakened too, I'm sorry.
The cicadas and alpha weaken.
Well, oh yes, yeah, because I do remember that the term that Mounce used, yeah. So it turns from the demonstrative into more of a normal, what do you call it? A personal pronoun. Yeah. So yeah, I remember him using that term weaken. Sorry, I forgot about that. And do you remember that what the difference between autos, well, especially hutos and, the difference between hutos and ekanos is?
Hutos is this, that. No, sorry, is this, these.
Mm-hmm.
And Ecanos is those, that.
Okay, but the more important thing is, hutos would be right here, ekanos would be over there.
Distance.
Yeah, so, and he said that to them, meaning those people over there, rather than just them being
Said at one more time, glucose is
close,
close.
and ekanos is far. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move into our full sentences, our translations here. And keep reading the wrong one. Can I get a volunteer for translation number 1?
I have received the commandment from my Father.
Okay. From
My Father.
Father, my, exactly, I received, and commandment, and then this. This commandment I received from Father my, or you can have, I received, jumping here, this commandment from my Father. So yeah, they all function. Wonderful. This red marker really loves to
So I
stand
don't
out.
have.
You didn't have, no, you wouldn't have to do the have received. Actually, it's just I received because the verb form isn't, yeah,
Just want to receive.
yeah. This would be the aorist simple past form, which we'll get into very shortly. All right, let's work on translation number 2. Do I have any volunteers?
This is
Yep.
this.
Yep. Because you remember what this is?
Oh, that's the like the est.
The superlative.
Superlative.
Yeah.
The proper name is superlative. And Jorge is first.
Mm-hmm. And we just had this word in the last translation. Yep. Am I doing it right, Thomas? Yep. Yep. Perfect. And you can rearrange the first and greatest and still hold its meaning. They're both in the same case. So,
Pretty straightforward one.
yeah. All right. Can I get a volunteer for translation number 3? Okay, let's see here.
If this.
Okay, we have.
These things.
Yep. And say again, where are we at?
We have if these.
At the beginning?
Trying to remember. Here's the if. And it was just on your quiz today.
I have that first one as the if also.
Okay. Okay. Now say again. Yep.
These things.
And then, yeah, you know. It's at the beginning. This is at the, yeah, I was going to say, I was going to give you a hint there. Yeah, I was going to say. Okay, and this one, this is a verb form of me.
You are.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. You do. Yeah, so we have this. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
It's if you know these things.
And if you know these things, yeah, because we want to,
Is
if,
that right?
yeah, if you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. Yeah, perfect.
You know to do it, do it.
Well, something that we're always talking about, that knowledge of God's word isn't all just merely head knowledge. And Jesus here is saying, hey, this isn't just stuff to know, for you to know to puff up yourself, but you actually have to go out and live this out. Ooh, we got a long one here. And we have a proper name in here too. Or it could be from, depending on what do you call it? Let me call it. The noun it's modifying. Okay, what? The.
Many,
Okay, where are we at?
polyos, many,
Mm-hmm. The many.
those,
Mhm. It'll be those in this one, yeah. And we're back into.
many,
Mm-hmm. May believed. No.
And
And him. Okay, now we have our proper name here. Not a Z, that's a sigma.
Samaria,
Well, yeah, it's Samara, okay. The Samaritans, yes. Because the clue here is that's a plural.
so, oh, that's right. So we, the book is the same.
Okay. What? No. Okay. What's it modifying? Because we have.
Okay. It's modifying the word.
What cases? Ton logon in. Okay. What does dia mean in the accusative? Yeah, it could be. Or just simply. You could just simply say this.
Because of?
Yeah. Because the word singular. Okay, we already know that we have a circumflex, so we know we're in dative or genitive, and there's no iota, so what's it going to be then?
that would be there.
That would be an omega if it was dative. Well, actually, no. No, actually, I think you're right. But we have this in. Interesting. We've got.
Woman?
Yeah, it's woman. It's parsed like masculine. Well,
Women.
no, woman. That is singular. Yeah, you're right. The woman. Could be like the word of the woman. So, and out of the many, though, out of the. Trying to think of. Actually, this is not many. This is totally wrong here. Right. Yeah, this is police. Police, yeah, out of the city, yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I'm getting out of the city, many believed in him. No, many of. So here's, remember I told you, yeah, of, because of that, many of the Samaritans believed in him because the word of the woman. Yeah, this is the woman in the well. Yeah. So, and out of the city, many believed in him. This is interesting. Many of the Samaritans. So this was many of the Samaritans believed in him, and out of the city, and we can get rid of the many because this is just referencing demonstrative to this.
Okay. Out of the city, many of the Samaritans lived in him.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to put it.
Because of the word.
Yeah. All right, you want to do another one? We can erase all this fun stuff first. Oh, and here's the breakdown. I always forget that I do this. Yeah.
Oh, the same thing?
It's, yeah, the same thing, but it's just showing you how. So we have here, and from the city, those many, they believed in him, the Samaritans, because of the word of the woman. This is how you want to break down complicated multi-clausal sentences, is break them down into these different phrases or different units that you can, different grammatical units that you can play around with. And you can imagine if there are little slices of paper where you can just take this, slide that there, this here, kind of like what we're doing. But they're these are all either dependent or independent clauses that you can play around with.
Okay.
So we're not, when we're going to be doing our translations, they're not going to be like your interliner where they're going to be in Greek grammar, but in English translation, we're going to have to make them something smooth into English.
I snatched up the one that translated into further.
Yeah, those are the interliners. Yeah, and then you get to really see how different Greek grammar is from English that way. All right, let's see here. You want to try another translation?
For this reason, you do not hear, because you're not of God.
Okay. Then there's a lot of ooks and hotis. Okay. Yeah. For
The footnote said for this reason.
this, you not hear,
Because you're not
because from or of
of
God,
God.
not you are. That's the interliner translation. So then we have
all.
for this, yeah.
Right, it translates it.
So basically you hear, or this you hear not. No, hang on, I got that in the wrong place. I spliced that in the wrong place. And then you can, for you don't, like you want to take this and probably turn this into a don't. Because you are not from, yeah. So this is, and I bet you, nope, I did not put that there. Okay, great.
Reminds me of alphabet soup, but with like words.
Exactly.
This gets easier the longer you do this, though. It really does. Let's see here. Let's get an easier one here. Oh, wait, no, that one does have the chart. Yeah, let's go ahead and move. Let's do this. So, this, yeah, I got that. So we know it's going to be came. We just got to figure out where the context is we're going to get that from. Yeah, that or in order. That. Wait, where are we at? Yeah. Yeah, we already know. Might bear witness. We still have to figure out who the subject is they're referencing here.
Concerning.
Yep, concerning. The light. And here we have E, not N again, in order that. You already got that, so I'll fill this in for you.
Is that everything or all?
Yeah, that's all.
All.
Might believe. I think,
Through.
yep, through him.
Not.
No, through his. It's through him, yeah. Where am I at? There we go. Not.
That light was not that light.
Is in, right? No.
It's hen. It's N, not hen, yes. It's not one.
It was not.
Yeah, was. Exactly. Yeah. Those, yeah. I put this in, and then down here we have
Also, how?
Light.
No.
the light, yes. Exactly. But in order that,
We saw that
Hmm.
earlier. Might bear witness.
yep. Yeah, from up here.
Oh,
With?
Concerning.
Correct.
yeah.
Uh,
So far, we have 15.
What about alphabets?
yeah. So you can say this. You could say this one came or this man came.
Or he came.
Now you can just get rid of that exactly. In order that he might bear witness concerning the light, in order that all, and then here we have something interesting here. We just say, get rid of the they, all might believe through him. Yeah, that worked perfectly. And okay, and then here we got he was. No, hang on, no.
So it's not the light.
Yeah, he was, yeah, not. And then, okay, well, then we have just a straight akanos. No. What's that?
It's not that light.
It's not that light, yeah.
That could be, but would that make sense? He was not, that, the light. But
It's not the light?
yeah, you can just ditch the,
Yeah.
you can just ditch this in English because it doesn't really make sense. He was not the light, but in order that he was not the light, but he. Okay, so now we have something. He was not the light, but in order that he might bear witness. Okay, well, where are we getting that he in there? Ooh, now we got some funny stuff going on here. That's getting clunky. Yeah.
Credit for the verb.
Yeah. Now see, let's go back to here. We can get rid of this because this is where we want to. Yeah, we want to start breaking down our clauses. Haha.
Bear witness.
Yeah. Yeah, he just basically, we have our he came here. Gosh, I had it right, Thomas. He came. And we already have this as a version of hutos, but we've now substituting the personal pronoun, or weakened, as Mounce would say, in order to witness.
In order to make it look.
Yeah, and here we have that in order to. Might witness concerning the light. Okay, but we still have a kind of like a funky gap there that we need to plug in here. And
That he?
we in order that, try to plug in all the stuff that we had from the previous. All might believe. Yeah, exactly. This,
Here it is.
well, nah, we're going to be moving stuff around. Not. He was. We already learned that we don't want to right now put in that light. The light. But in order that
Might work it, might.
Might, yeah. So a gap. Bear witness concerning the light. And I think there was a week where you all were missing here, and Ruth got hold of this. So we have I put in a couple plugs in here because I'm trying to find that. Where is that missing verb?
In
The,
what?
Yeah,
the,
he, in order that he might, yeah. So the he comes in and plugs in these holes right here and here.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll have that one verb pushing multiple clauses. Let me see if there's in order that he was, he might, he was witness. Yeah, this plays into this. So we have maturese. Yeah, bear witness in order that he did bear witness concerning the light. He came in order, almost like to bear witness concerning the light. No, that doesn't make sense either. This is a funky one. This is why I want to play with this one. We do know the bear witness, or just plainly witness, is going to be.
Oh,
I mean, we could plug in due to the dative nature here too.
but that's a verb, so
Mm-hmm.
subjunctive there for that verb.
Yeah, it is subjunctive, but that's where the might comes from.
in order that the light bear witness.
To he might, yeah. But I think that the he, yeah, the he just comes from here, and it's not a was. But we have the he comes in from here and here, but it has to plug in these gaps with the verbs. That he, in order that he might bear witness.
Concerning the light.
Yes. So we've got our context coming in from our verbs to fill in these holes. I would say more that the he on the top clause comes from here rather than down there. Yeah. What's that?
I don't know how I do that by myself.
Context. Yeah. In order that he might, yeah, and we've still yet to get into the verbs too. So we will see that more once we get into verbs. We're going to see that it's all the clues for the subject are going to be buried in the verb. So, or the reference. Okay, so this was a tough one. I think we're going to wrap it up on our workbook exercises here. But what I wanted to do was to show you how to break the longer sentences into clauses so that you can break them, you can parse them independently rather than just having a long string of words that don't seem to bear any relationship to each other. Yeah, because we have these are all separated by, okay, remember what these are called here?
Prepositional phrases?
Yes, exactly. Prepositional phrases. Broke out all of our prepositional phrases. Yeah.
Okay, so we are now going to be looking at lesson 14.
Yes, we are now moving to our last class on pronouns. And this is going to be on the relative pronouns. So I bet you didn't think there were so many pronouns to deal with. Come on. Sorry, I just got an update to Microsoft Office. So it keeps telling me, do you want to learn how to use Microsoft Office?
Bet you already know how.
No, I don't know anything. I know nothing. Why do I get a big old circle here? Oh, what is going on here? Oh, it's still doing it to me. Hang on a second. Customize your camera layout. Got it. Okay, wow, it's completely changed the orientation here of, let me see here. Okay. Okay. No, hang on. Okay, good, my notes are showing up. All right, great. So, there's that camera thing again. Does it get out of my way? Guess I should have. I don't want to start recording. Let me hit escape, go back in. Ah, there we go. Much better. All right, so welcome to our final week of nouns, where we're going to be dealing with also our final week of pronouns. And in this case, the relative pronoun. And I know what you're all thinking. What is a relative pronoun? Well, it's hard to define, but there are words such as who, that, which, whom, and those. And all they do is they refer to other things. All pronouns refer to a proper noun, but who refers to people, such as the teacher whom we love teaches Greek, and where we have, in this instance, whom being our relative pronoun. And whose is primarily personal, and it refers to an antecedent. So I sold the car whose color made me ill. So here, whose is referencing the car. And which tends to be neuter. It could be personal, it could be not. That could be any gender. It's basically referencing any specific noun at that point in time. That thing, that girl, things, so on and so forth. And these are not interrogatives, so they're not question marks like who are my students. You're not going to end up with a crazy I'm Ron Burgundy. Yeah. Okay, yeah. There's our list again. Okay. Okay, relative clauses, they're all dependent clauses. They're all dependent constructions. They will not have the subject and verb. So here we have a relative clause which has our relative pronoun, which is in this case is whoever. Relative clause is here. So you can have come to me and I will give drink without the whoever's thirsty, but the relative clause using the relative pronoun gives more context. Come to me, whoever is thirsty, and I will give drink. Because you can have somewhat similar meaning, come to me and I will give drink. But this gives it further definition.
The first, because without the whoever clause, it sounds like you're talking to.
Yes, exactly. So instead of saying, don't come to me, whoever is not thirsty, you wouldn't have to slap that at the end. But yeah, and if you notice, the whoever is functioning as a noun. So it's a substantive, which will, so it can function as a substance. Whoever is last will be first. So whoever is the noun in this case. And as we know, pronouns usually modify nouns, so there's nothing new, nothing exciting about that statement there. Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry. I haven't even had but one cup of coffee. I don't know why I'm so hyper right now. The sugar from the ice cream. Ah, that's what did it.
You woke me up.
So I'm not just sounding like wah, wah, wah right now.
No.
I'm going to email you all these slides, right? I know. Good note taking is good for you.
I won't.
Where's
Do that a lot.
Well, I just don't know if there's some people that. Yeah, there is, but there's been times I remember being in class where like, oh, this is the only access I'm going to have to this information. I had professors that would just blast through their slides, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then they would never email you. The slides would not be like available afterwards. So what we just got to do was take our phones out, and snapping pictures of the slides. No, I didn't know if that was the case, but I'm glad y'all are taking notes.
I like it here under class 14 and it's back.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, I did this again. We have our relative clause standing here, where we also have the whoever as a relative pronoun functioning as a noun in this case, and the same thing here. I always get ahead of myself. Love to do that. All right, and what are our relative pronouns, you might ask? Well, here they are. Do they look very familiar?
They do.
Okay, you know what they are? They're the article without the tau. Except for like ho, like ho, hey, and ho.
Wait, isn't hey also or?
What?
Isn't hey also or?
This is hey, not a.
Okay. Yes. Yeah,
Right.
that is a smooth breathing R. We had,
No, it's a rough breathing mark.
this is rough breathing, but
Yeah.
we had this.
Yeah, so this is ho, hey, ho, yeah.
That's the smooth breathing.
Yeah. And here, this is almost identical to English. Who? This is who's. Yeah. Yeah, so the A is the or you're thinking of. It would have the soft breathing mark on the A, yeah.
And then hey, but with no
Acute.
acute is the. No, just the acute is the.
No, without the acute, it's it's plainly the yes. Exactly. And then you'd have the same thing ho with the without the acute, and the sigma at the end would be the again. But then the rest you'd have now these would start looking familiar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what remember I told you how many words are just modified versions of the article, including in English. And we notice, because that's the interesting, is we also have the change in inflection too. Remember I told you where you have like going from standard article form to an interrogative is like the.
So,
Or do you remember that movie we watched a couple months ago, Romancing the Stone? John Wilder? The John Wilder? Yeah. It asks the question. Yeah, now you remember that movie, huh? Okay, and now has everybody taken their notes? Let me know when you've got this paradigm down. You notice the paradigm doesn't change at all. This is basically, if you look at it, other than the extra diacritics, this is basically our case endings just hanging loose.
So I have a question. So if you look at epsilon in the middle of,
You mean the eta?
yeah, the second row, yeah. So there's diacritics above
Mm-hmm.
the eta,
Mm-hmm.
but then if you move over to the next set,
Which next set? Up, down, left, right?
to the right,
The
the diacritics are over the second.
Yeah, diacritics are always over the second and a diphthong. Remember what a diphthong is? Where you have two vowels coming together to form a different sound, like ow, oo, oo, yeah, oi. You're very welcome. Yes, you'll always end up having your breathing mark over the second vowel here. I mean, blessing, elogios. So, Has everybody got this paradigm down? Because we'll move into our plural here very shortly. We're good? Everybody thumbs up? Okay, wonderful. And same thing in plural. And once again, slap a tau in front of all of these and you see the article jump out at you, don't you? And you remember me telling you at the very beginning where you ended up having multiple diacritics stacked on each other? And now we're seeing them.
Well, all of these are rough.
Yep. Yeah. So in every single one of them, the tau has been replaced by a rough reading mark. Yeah.
That is hard to see the rough and smooth reading.
Yeah, under that circumflex. Yeah. When I'm typing, it's usually, especially on my notes here, I'm like, is that the right? Did I?
Well, how do you type?
I switched my keyboard over to Greek, and the rough breathing, the soft breathing mark is the what do you call that thing? The comma, and the rough breathing mark is the quotation mark. Yeah, and yeah, I have to remember which one. Shift? No, yeah.
I have a keyboard
Yeah.
with all of that on there.
Yeah.
That I look at to do that.
Yeah, and I got my colon. My semicolon is the acute. The colon is the grave. The plus sign is the circumflex plus the soft breathing mark, and then the equals the circumflex with a hard breathing mark.
When I had the first 2 years of Greek, Texas Lutheran, he had a Greek typewriter.
Oh, cool.
A regular typewriter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then I had another one, senior year. Dr. Ann Sarge was on sabbatical that senior year. Helen Jacobs I had for the classical Greek and also ancient Greek history.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, you got all the good classes. They just don't teach that stuff anymore, which is
No, but it's just
sad.
in that ancient Greek class and the classical Greek, there's just 2 of us in that class.
Oh, that's nice. Those are intimate kind of classes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess everybody stopped writing and they're digging into chocolate right now. So I know we can move on to the next slide here. All right. So the form, once again, we know the form of the number and the gender by the antecedent noun that's referring, the noun the relative pronoun is referring to. The case is by function inside the relative clause. So the woman whom we saw, we have our relative clause right here. Let me make sure. Oh, wait. I do have something to work. Not going to get above myself. So here we have a relative clause whom we saw, the store that they had seen in the east. So if difficult, you want to replace with an antecedent. What we're going to run into with the antecedent is you can replace it with the antecedent noun. So the woman whom we saw, we have our relative clause here, and whom is the woman. So you can say the woman. In essence, we're almost saying the woman we saw was walking in the subway. Oh, I guess. Who is that? BJ? He probably thinks that. I'll call him later. All right. Interesting thing when you use your telephone as technology to do other things, and it's tied to your computer, so you can't quite silence it out. All right. So in this case, the whom is also what do you call it in an accusative form, because in the relative clause, the we saw is the subject, So when you're going to see this, this is where you're going to seeing your clauses. Yeah. Well, you're going to know you're going to have your relative pronoun when you start seeing that what looks like a direct article missing the tau. Yeah. So this is basically an independent clause. The sentence would work perfectly. The woman was walking in the subway, and this is adding extra context. It's almost like saying we saw the woman walking in the subway. You could actually translate something in that way and make perfect sense. Why we want to do that, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's if you're wanting more of your translation to be more true to the original Greek, then you would do that. If you're like going for word, yeah, then you'd want to definitely stick with your relative clauses. But if you're going to go thought for thought, then you can think about ditching them. So we have a relative clause here that they had seen. So we have our relative pronoun here, and then we have our subject, they, and they had seen. But this doesn't make sense. But here, we can't say the star in the east. That's basically making... You're not getting the information. Yeah. So if you wanted to go more thought for thought, you can translate this. They had seen the star in the east, but if you want to go for word, the star that they had seen in the east.
I'm sorry, so the words that they had seen are independent, not dependent. Dependent clause.
It's an independent that they no. In this form it's dependent because it can't that they had seen can't stand on its own, and yeah.
And then the word they is that is what?
They had seen. Okay, so here, yeah, this becomes the subject here. Yeah, yeah. They had, yeah. If you want, because yeah, if you break it down into they had seen the star, so they would be are not. This would most likely be. I mean, this would be our subject. You wouldn't have a nominative case unless you have, like, say, maybe a pronoun standing in there. The star would be your accusative, and then in the east would be probably in dative format. Because that's our direct. We have our direct object and our indirect object. The star in the east. Okay, so now we've got a fun one to work with here. Okay, where is our relative clause here? What's that? Yeah, that's it. It is. Okay, where does it end? Okay, I'll give you clues. Yeah, yeah. So this is. What was it? Sorry. Yeah, who?
Whoever.
Yeah, who? Yeah, who? Not. You can say like bears. This is cross. Oops, not crass. His. And then we have and, so we can say this is the end of the clause here. Yeah, exactly. Who, yeah, we can, because English, we have this weird need to put the word do in front of a verb. And then.
As opposed to what?
Most other language will just say, instead of, like, do you want to eat? They just want to say, you want to eat. Or, have you done your homework? No, that one's in a different form. Do you like chocolate? You like chocolate would be typically what we want to say in other languages. So, and then his, we can put here. So, and then here we are. There is our relative clause. So, who, you could say whoever, if you wanted, does not bear his cross. Or you can say pick up. That's another way. Okay, now, and we know this is and, not add. It's nothing. Not getting paid for that. Lewis, what does this word mean?
What?
What does this word mean?
Doesn't follow. That's
Yeah.
what it looks-
Well, there is
What?
the alpha in front, remember?
Does not.
Yeah, not follow.
Does not follow.
Yeah.
It's a negative. Does not follow.
Yeah. So, like atheist, whenever you can have, you can have kaluthe, you add the alpha, becomes it negates that. And this means after and follow after my. Well, we can put it in there, see what that works. Yeah. Not is this. You've had this word before. It's axios. Axios. Nope. We were just watching Wayne's World the other day. There's a funny scene out of that movie where they use this term. But has anybody seen Wayne's World? Yeah, that's way past your times and before your and after your time. Okay, that's yeah. So I couldn't make that reference.
Not worthy.
Exactly, worthy. Yeah, there's a funny scene where they meet one of their heroes and go, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." Okay. So, what do we know of from here? Whoever does not bear his cross and not follow after my. Yeah. So you can say this is not follow after of me. There's another way to look at this, but then the of is superfluous in English. So it's not that you're just swapping grammatical function. It just trying to think of how, yeah, you're not following after of me. Trying to think, because we already have yeah. Trying to think here how we get all the function of yeah. So we have here, we already have our direct object here, so we can't have me being a direct
Yeah,
object.
no, that one you can.
What?
On the other one you can. It's not worthy of me.
Not worthy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Someone is to follow their
Is actually, and then there's an actual word. There's another function you want to put in here. He is. Yeah. So you say this can be bear picks up. So whoever does not bear his cross and doesn't follow after me, he is not worthy of me. And then we have the parallel verbs here, and picks up right here. Sorry, never mind. I have them in order down here. The bears and follows. So we have the two different, almost, yeah, he is not worthy. If he does, well, we don't have the if, so we don't have the, I don't know if these are going to be quite independent clauses. Yeah, he's not worthy. Yeah, you can kind of might get the context to make these independent, but I wouldn't say you could. But I'm trying to remember why I don't remember why I had the notes in here for why I have the parallel verbs. And that the parallel verbs do bear the subject. So he does not pick up or bear his cross, and he does not follow. That's the subject of our.
That's right.
Yeah. Man, this one even broke my brain. All right, so now we have ideas of how these relative clauses function in our translation. Actually, the host, this is in nominative form. He. So in that, these are both back reference. These are both modifying. This is where we start to get into verbs. Verbs modify nouns. Or verbs, no, sorry. I take that back. Verbs don't modify nouns. Verbs demonstrate the actions nouns are performing, like say a subject's performing on the object. He, there, this is our direct object. Yeah, so we have it here. But then after that, we have to deal with, okay, so we have other, I think the whole point I was trying to get to is the of me context rather than having this be in the accusative form, it's in the genitive form. And, or why is it not in the dative form? Yeah. He is not worthy of me. And this is pretty well easy to break apart. Yeah. So we have our subject here. And then we also have this as an adjective modifying this noun. But then we have the of me. This is pretty easy to deal with here, but I think the hard one is here. We have our subject here, back referencing this. And this is just after, so this is another adjective modifying this. But this almost, yeah. But this is a weird one, the of me. He who does not follow after of me, rather than just doesn't follow after me. Trying to figure out why the grammatical functions. Can you give a guess, Lewis, why this is in genitive form rather than, like, say, a dative form?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one. This one's racking my brain too, so I don't want to get too deep in the weeds there. So, but what I want to get you all used to is to, in your translations, not to go like your interliners. If you need to, make notes in your margins or a spare sheet of paper where you break apart a sentence into all of the different dependent clauses, all of the relative clauses, all of the, gosh, my brain dead again. I'm not saying predicate clauses, the prepositional clauses. So, and these will help you so much rather than trying to deal with an entire long sentence all at once. Okay. So we have some more function of our relative pronouns. So who, which, and that, they can function as a noun. So these are substantive. The man who, so in this case the who is referencing back to the man, but the who is a noun. Obviously it's not an interrogative, but we have our relative clause here. The man is my pastor. You can say that, but you can say as an aside, the man, oh yeah, that guy sitting at the table, that's my pastor. Of course, if you want to go more thought for thought, the man, or you can go, yeah, that man sitting at the table is my pastor is another way of stating that, yeah. Yeah. But once again, this is going to be more if you prefer to go word for word rather than thought for thought, because it's going to be huge in theological circles. Yeah. So, and if you're adding words, you can add words, if the relative pronoun is being used substantively, it's being used as a noun. So this can even be the man, he who is, it'll be a little bit superfluous, but you can add that and still mean the same thing. And as we did, as Lewis did, he did whoever, but he can also add he who takes up his cross or he who bears his cross. There's another way you can bring in
the first example modify who, which, that. The man, he who is sitting at the table is my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be could the word he possibly be for added emphasis?
It could be, yeah. Or it could just be as a lead into to show you this. Who takes up his cross? It can give you added context to the reader. I heard somebody come in the door.
Pastor. The doors are locked, so
Yeah, some of them are.
Oh, that's right. They're probably getting together to play pickleball. All right.
He who is preparing to play pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the man, he who is playing pickleball, is my pastor. Okay, so as we've shown in our exercises, we want to keep our clauses, our relative clauses together. Also want to do the other prepositional clauses. The relative clauses never contain the main subject or the verb of the entire sentence. And in our phrasing, we want to connect the phrasing to our antecedent, which is the noun the pronoun is referring to. Yeah, the relative pronoun is referring to. So fairly simple. And in summary, we have hos, he, ho. These are all 2-1-2 forms. And as I said, it's basically just the article with a rough breathing mark in place of the tau. We know the case by function, gender number is by the antecedent, the noun the relative pronoun is referring to. So we always want to introduce relative clauses, meaning that the relative clauses are going to be introduced with the relative pronoun. And relative pronouns can function adjectively or substantively, which we covered before, in substantive form we might want to add our extra words. And these are all dependent clauses. So I think that was what I was wrapping my head around. This is an independent clause. It looks like an independent clause, and I'd break the rule. Okay, good news. Y'all, as of today, have learned 67% of the vocabulary you're going to need for this whole course. You only have 33% left. Oh, we just used you as a learning tool. Mike, so the man who is about to play pickleball is my pastor.
Have fun. Have fun.
Hey, you want to get some Greek vocabulary here in? All right, so that concludes our lesson today, other than our most loved vocabulary words. So is everybody ready to take some notes down? Okay, this makes a beautiful girl's name, Alethea. It truly is a beautiful girl's name.
Have you known anyone named that?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. Have you known anybody named Alethea?
No, can you say Alethea?
Alethea, yeah, sorry, Alethea. So I'm pronouncing it like a friend. Yeah, Alethea, excuse me.
No, but that's a good name.
Mhm. Truly it is.
You don't have to write a name.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce the last letter in
Something
the word?
Here?
No, the last letter with the diacritic above.
Oh, that's just hey. Yeah, that's the word the, like hey, Alethea. Hey, Alethea. Yeah. God. Can't believe Allie's name is still haunting me after all these years later. Yeah, Alethea. Nope. Well, it is. It's one of God's. It's one of. Let's see here. I am the way, the light. Yeah, the truth. Truth. Yes.
Very good word. Not enough people use it.
Yeah, everybody done taking down the word? Okay. Anybody want to try to pronounce this one? Yeah. Irene, yeah. It's a very Irenic word. Yeah. And it didn't hit me till I was typing this out today. It's like, Irie. I wonder if that's where they got that from. I'm so Irie today. No. I can't get the accent. Think Bob Marley. Oh, how Irie.
Erie.
Not Erie, no. It's not a town in Pennsylvania or a lake just north of that town. This is a very ironic word.
Ironic?
No.
But now give up.
Peace. Yeah, ironic means peaceful.
You knew?
Yeah.
That's a good lady's name, right? Irene.
Irene, yeah, that's exactly what that means, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's, no, her, and she died when she was about 94, 95. She was the wife of the pastor, Bogren, who confirmed and ordained me.
Oh, lovely. Okay. And, okay, so our next word, an opion. This is actually a compound word. Nope. Anytime you see the N in front of a word, this is, yeah, N, yeah. But this is not going to help y'all at all. But if you get the other half of the word, this means before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before what?
Just before. That's his word. You know, like you want to say.
The word before.
Yeah, it's the word for before.
Nepion.
An opion.
You pronounce it.
No, there's no there. An opion. Okay. Everybody ready for that? Are you still writing?
I'm not writing right now.
Okay. And our next word? Okay, remember we have our nasal gamma here, so yeah, evangelia. Yeah. And this is another compound word. We get our epi elided into angelia.
Angel.
No. Well, yeah. Well, angelos means angel, but it can also mean messenger. So that would mean angelia would mean message, but this is upon or concerning the message. But it still doesn't help you a lot. It just means promise.
Promise?
Yeah. Yeah. It means promise.
How do you pronounce the last? How do you pronounce the word with the last letter in diacritic?
This?
Yeah.
That's just hey. Yeah, this is the feminine nominative singular.
So how do you say that?
Evangelia. Yeah, evangeli. The accent on that last iota. Evangelia. That's going to be another hard thing because in English we always accent the second syllable. So, and in many other languages, you can throw that accent all over the place. All right. This is one of a many a number of words we're going to learn. What's that? Yeah. Hepta. Yeah. Well, if you only cut 3 short on your reps, or depending, maybe you might be 8 short on your rep. I'm giving you big clues here.
The letter 8, the number 8.
You're 1 off.
The letter
The number 7.
Correct. This is 7. Hepta. Yeah. You remember what was that movie that we watched? The one with the aliens who came and they were riding in those little ink circles. They called them heptapods. 7 feet.
Yes. Was first contact.
Yes, it wasn't contact. Okay, so this is, if you can pronounce this, you get it. Yep. Yep, exactly. Throne.
Oh.
Okay. I'll be disappointed if y'all don't get this one.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Jerusalem. Exactly. Okay. Meow. Yeah, exactly.
It's a big meow.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to give this one. This is, remember the little word's always the hardest one. So in that genitive, it can mean down from or against. And the accusative, it means according to, throughout, or during. Okay, and so we have this word tends to elide to. So in front of a vowel with a smooth breathing mark, this elides into just the tau, right? But if it's got a hard breathing mark, it elides into the theta. So an instance, so you can have
Or kata.
kat emu. Okay. Sorry, she's scratchy. And then also you can have what word did I have here? Yeah, human. And yeah. So the difference is going to be your breathing mark. Kat emu, katemu. You'd almost slur these together when you pronounce them. Katemu and kathumen. Because the kind of slides over there to the tau. Kathumen. Yeah. It'd be like, what's that? No, like according to him. Yeah. Yeah. And this is against me or down for, yeah.
What does that mean?
Against me. Because this is in the genitive, so. Anyone who is against me. Yeah. So you'll run into this. Okay, we're good? Okay. All right. And nope. Capital A, yep. There's a sickness you can get if you switch the K to a C, and this will make this jump right out at you. Oh, you bet had it. What? No, not that. There's not an upsilon there. Yep. And what does that mean?
Water.
It means inflammation of the yeah, but more specifically, where's the brain located? Yeah, that means head.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, encephalitis means inflammation in the head in Greek. Remember I told you once you learn all this, all the medical terminologies and technical terminologies are all going to start making sense. You'll look at that, oh, that's what that means. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here last week. Is that the last one?
What? No. We still have a couple more words left to go. Okay. We already had the light. We already had the truth. And we'll have one left. Yeah. The way, yes. So does this also mean a road or a journey? Yeah, hodos. Yeah, but the interesting thing is, you notice this. No. Does anybody notice the discrepancy here? Hey. And
Yeah, okay, so it conjugates masculine, but it has a feminine.
bingo. This is an irregular. It's a feminine word that conjugates masculine.
Why?
Because that's the way languages work. I don't think there's a single natural language in the world that is completely and utterly without. Well, no, you have some that are more logical than the others. They're all logical in their own sense, but that don't have exceptions. The closest one that you'll ever run into is if you ever want to look the easiest language in the world to learn Indonesian. But Indonesian.
Out of all the words to be confused about its gender,
The way.
the way.
Yeah. He went that way. Yeah, but this isn't the only word that does that. But you'll run into this. Yeah. But think about in Spanish, love. El maleta. No, look it up. El maleta. It's an irregular noun. Yeah. If you don't believe me, look it up.
So it does the same thing as.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The suitcase in Spanish. It's a feminine ending but masculine noun. Okay, and we just covered this, the huge chunk. So who, whom, which, so on and so forth. I'm hoping you all have that one down by now. Okay.
Okay.
I bet you're asking when is this class over by now, right?
So it's like,
Yeah. Hote.
He pronounced
There's no the ho that sound you're making in Greek will always be by our he. Yeah.
so say the word.
This is hote. Hote.
it. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
not way.
Okay.
That is still close to the word that we just said, the last one.
Yeah, the demonstrative pronoun. And this is still a demonstrative word, but now it's a demonstrative preposition. My head hurts. Okay, you ready? It means like thus or so or in this manner. So it's a preposition. So you're still demonstrative, like because of this demonstrate, and then here, because of this, demonstrating by this other clause here. So yeah. So it's still the demonstrative pronoun being used, but in a preposition form. Okay. Loyon, yes. Yeah. I remember learning, getting to meet some guys in the Greek Navy, and learning like their ranks. I thought was pretty cool. Antiploiros was one of their ranks, which is again based on this word. Once I learned Greek, I'm like, that's what that word meant. No, actually, yes, it is very much. Yeah, it is very much.
That's still out. I don't know what articulate.
It means sub-lieutenant, but that doesn't clue you on that at all.
Not at all. No.
You can give up. It means ship or boat. I'm hoping all the naval references would kind of clue you off. Yeah, ship or a boat.
Or a ship or a.
Yeah.
So you didn't really know.
To deploy.
No, I did. It made sense because a lot of the ranks in the world will be like the officer of the ship or something like that. No, so it'd be like the officer of the ship, like the captain would have been like the captain in their language would usually mean something like ship master or something like that. And captain in our term means head. Comes from the word head from Latin.
Okay. So wait, how do you pronounce it?
Ployon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Good. And somebody's name is going to make complete sense here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, our good friend's daughter's name. And this is exactly what Kyle named her after.
That means I can't think of the.
Logos.
It's something similar, but yeah. No, a greeting would still be like a blessing or something like that, but it just simply means word or a saying, yeah. But like, yeah, the logos holds like a ton of different philosophical baggage, where rhema would be more like something poetic, if you will, like a poetic diction, if you will. So, or if you want to say like, what would be a word? And a colloquialism wouldn't be a good way of saying that, but an idiom maybe would be a good way of saying how you can translate that into. But I wouldn't use it, yeah.
It has a rough reading mark or a.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you'll run into the rough breathing marks in Greek, and a lot of times it would mean you don't rhodicize it, meaning it's not rhema, it's rhema, like in English.
And also there was university.
Yeah. Yeah, if you run into other languages where you have the rhodization spelled out like this, you run into that a lot in, like, say, your Nordic languages and Old English too. Like all of our words used to start out with the letter H. and te. And it's te. No, the little words are always don't make any sense, right? This means like so or like and so. And so.
You need a mark on there. This one has a mark. You need a little mark.
Where's the mark? Oh, you got one on.
We have an accent and a mark on it.
Oh, I probably mistyped it.
Does it come?
Oh, okay, forgive me on that. Sorry, I'm not the best typist in the world.
Yeah, the grade.
Wait, I'm in display mode, so yeah, I'll fix that. Okay. Let's give Lewis a hand for this, for pointing that out.
There?
No, there's your he again. Head, yeah, head, or you can just say care if you want. Yeah, depending on if you want to get it. Yeah, yeah, heros. Heros. What? Nope. Nope.
Hero?
Nope.
Let's see.
Yeah, I gave you all a big old hint. Nobody's catching on to this. Hand. Hand. Y'all were doing this. Yep. Okay. Okay, see if anybody can catch this.
It's just one day.
And you remember what I always told you about upsilon? When you transliterate this into English, what does it become? Actually, no, mind is a different word. You're close, but not quite.
So would you say it? Say the word?
Oh, like it's suke, yeah, suke, but if you want to try to translate it, you might want to call it psyche.
Okay. So, mind, thought.
It's not mind. Mind is nous.
Noose?
Spirit, close. Remember, spirit is pneuma. There you go. You know, it can also mean life or self. Yeah. Yeah, so this would be something more like, your life, like your soul, like the inherent part of you that stays after, like the physical part of you disappears. So, but it can mean life, it can mean soul, or it can mean yourself too. What's that?
I didn't realize that those were separate concepts from the Bible. Soul and spirit.
Yeah, and there were separate concepts in the ancient world. And now they're all just considered the soul is considered to be non-material, so it's thrown in the trash bin, and the mind is emergent from the brain, so everything kind of just reduces down to the physical. But in the ancient world, that wasn't the case. So that ends our what do you call it? Vocabulary for the week and our lesson. So I want to thank everybody for sticking through to the end of the class.
Thank you.